Hi, I'm Maya and I'm just finishing up my Macau teaching experience. I can't believe that this term is almost over and the past 3 months in Asia have been a whirlwind of new experiences which I have learned a lot from. Upon arriving in Macau, I didn't really know what to expect. I was a bit jet-lagged, disoriented, and eager to know what my duties as a teacher would be. The environment was very different from home in Oregon. Teaching experience, I said that my personal philosophy of education aligned with the pragmatic and the existentialist approach. I still believe in these ideas, however, during my time here, I saw my practices shifting from these approaches in order to conform to the more idealistic and traditional practices being used at HKP. One of the things that my students do frequently is recite and spell their vocabulary words. This practice does not encourage using phonics to read or spell, rather it makes students memorize the word and the spelling. When I would teach new vocabulary words, I would have my students recite and spell like they were used to, but we would also play games and learn about the meanings.
In the middle of, do you think it is A, B, or C? I'm going to jump up. Let's see what the right answer is. C is in the middle. No. C. Do you think it is A, B, or C? Looks like everyone got this one correct.
Incorporating interactive games to learn vocabulary aligns with the pragmatic approach that I prefer, which also focuses more on experiences. One of the projects that was surprisingly individualized and creative was a 3rd grader's general studies house building project. During this week, I had a lot of fun helping the students build their houses and seeing what high-tech facilities they wanted to put into their houses. It was really cool to see how each house turned out because there wasn't a certain standard for the houses. At the beginning of the term, I analyzed the traditional approach of education and read about how China's education system does not encourage individuality. Many times in the day where it feels as if the students are expected to be one and the same, or all reach to the same level, aside from their general studies house project. The flag ceremony, the uniforms, the same exercise routines each day, and having assigned numbers to their name are some of the characteristics I have observed that align with conformity in the Chinese education system. Although these things can be taken as a negative connotation, I also see it the other way. The unity creates a sense of belonging and also being on a team. When I see my students during their daily exercises or during passing time, they are smiling and really happy too. So the system has not completely stripped their individuality or personalities. Throughout my time here, I have been able to compare and contrast the differences between Eastern and Western education. I think overall, the school's culture has influenced my personal philosophy in teaching. The different structure of the school day compared to the States is one of these factors. Back home, students are with one teacher for the whole day. Elementary school teachers basically need to be a jack of all trades in the States. But here in China, teachers go to multiple classrooms and teach their specialty. The time crunch of only 40 minutes per period results in fast-paced learning and high expectations. I am sometimes surprised how fast some of the class periods have gone by. As a teacher in Macau, there has always been a balancing act of using Western and Eastern education practices. One of the times where the Western style of teaching is used the most, I would say, is our kinder library time. Each week, we got to be silly and loud with kindergartners. I think it was the most expressive and fun timed each week. We got to read and dance around with the little kinders. The casual environment of kinder library time definitely influences the style of teaching compared to the classroom setting where everyone's sitting down most of the time. The pressure centered around exams is more so than the States too. I thought that having a family night with the theme of test prep and self-care was a good idea. During one of the family nights, Jen and I taught students and families the importance of positive self-talk. Time in China and traveling in Asia has increased my awareness of cultural understanding. When I first arrived here, I was already overwhelmed by the amount of people and lack of personal space. Going to Hong Kong was one of the busiest places I have ever visited, if not the busiest. I've learned a lot about traveling, problem solving, and the importance of communication. The school setting was different than I was used to growing up to, too. HKP is a multi-level building and the students are so free when it isn't class time. I found support in my mentor teacher and the general studies teacher, Miss Alice, to help me acclimate to the school's culture. When Randy Bell came to visit, we were able to share our experiences with him too. As an Asian American, it was cool to experience Chinese New Year in Asia this year. Everywhere in Macau was really decorated and the holiday felt more festive than anywhere I have experienced before. Something I observed in this culture is the importance of family. For the New Year celebration, everyone got 2 weeks off to spend time with family and celebrate the New Year. I enjoyed the school's Chinese New Year dinner celebration. We tried new foods with interesting plated displays. You can learn a lot about a culture by the food and the customs. At the dinner, we learned about proper etiquette at a Chinese dinner. Lois and I were even part of Ho Kong's singing performance. For open day, we welcomed a lot of families and people from the community. It was a really fun day and I really enjoyed seeing all the art and watching the talent show performances. This experience has changed me because I feel that I am more globally educated. Since coming to Asia, I feel more adventurous and open to trying new things. Since being here, I've been able to experience new foods, sights, and meet new people.
There's fish everywhere. Hi! Is that photo or video?
Video, hi! So fun! Yeah! A little fishy right there. Oh my gosh!
I've gone on exciting adventures with friends, even made some new friends, and visited many beautiful places. I've conquered fears and stepped out of my comfort zone more than once.
1, 2, 3.
I feel like it's not sticking. It is vibrating.